Hello, my name is Laura Fox. I've been with the Cornell Archery Club now for 3 years, and I've also been coaching it for 3 years. This year, 2009 to 2010, I am also club president. We're hoping to have a great year this year, and we're really glad that you wanted to come along and join our group. Today's video is going to talk about a couple of things: how we do archery at Cornell, safety in archery, how to basically get started shooting, and where you can go for more information. There are several different types of archery and types of equipment that can go with it. There are long bows and crossbows and compound and recurve bows. Cornell teaches only how to shoot recurve bows, and we teach with the FIDA rules in the Korean style, also known as the BEST or BEST method. There is training in compound bows available where we shoot, and you can shoot compound with us too, but recurve and compound are the only two kinds of bows we support, recurve mostly. Archery is one of the safest sports in the world. The only 3 Olympic sports that are safer than archery are bridge, ping pong, and badminton. Archery is very safe despite the fact that we are hurling sharp-pointed objects through the air because we have strict rules and we follow them very closely. There aren't that many of them, but they are very important to your safety. We teach all the rules to you before we let you start shooting at the Cornell Archery Club, and this DVD is in fact intended to help you learn them before you even pick up a bow. The most important elements of safety while you are shooting are proper clothing and proper equipment, and knowing what the range dynamics are so you can keep yourself out of the line of fire. The key thing about clothing in archery is that you do not want it to get caught in any of your equipment. When the string goes past your arm or past your legs, you want to make sure that it's not grabbing your clothes when it does. Pants are typically what is worn, but skirts are okay too if they're not too baggy and fluffy. We like flat, closed-toed shoes, but if you want to shoot in flip-flops, that's okay too. I kind of like to discourage heels as they make you unstable when you're trying to balance. Baggy shirts are one of the biggest things we want to avoid. If you can come to archery in a t-shirt, kind of like this one, that fits your body relatively well, that is the best thing to shoot in. Long sleeve shirts or shirts with baggy sleeves are not a good idea. You also want to avoid sweatshirts with strings that come down from the neck, as when you shoot the bow, the string will often grab them and pull them against your throat. Jewelry is okay, but we discourage bracelets and rings that are kind of big or bulky as they might get in your way. Long necklaces are also a bad idea. The best way to come to archery is in your casual clothes, sweats, whatever, ready to shoot. The second important part of archery safety is the protective gear and equipment that you see all over my hands. This piece right here is called an arm guard, and it protects the string from striking your arm as you shoot and fire the bow. This piece of equipment is called a finger tab, and it protects your fingers from the string as you pull it through. A lot of people can get blisters on their fingers when they shoot for a long time, and this piece of equipment is designed to prevent that. This is a finger sling. We'll come back to this later. It is very important that you wear these pieces of equipment at all times. It's like a bicycle helmet. Sometimes your bike helmet can have uncomfortable straps and you might not want to wear it, but you need to wear it anyway to keep yourself safe. The Cornell Archery Club has a policy that protective gear is worn at all times while shooting our equipment. Also, you might notice that the finger tab is on my left hand and that the arm guard is on my right. This configuration may be different for you. Archery is shot based on your dominant eye, not your dominant hand. So we will do a test when you arrive at the range to determine which configuration you need to be in. Don't worry about that, we'll come back to that later, as it also determines which hand you will hold the bow with. Finally, a last couple things about safety: never dry fire a bow. Dry firing a bow means pulling the string back and letting it go without having an arrow in it. Not only is this bad for the bow, but it's also very dangerous for you. Finally, never point a bow at anybody else while there is an arrow in it, whether you have it drawn back or not. Next, let's move on to how to retrieve an arrow successfully. 90% of archery injuries come from the back of the arrow, not the front. So let's talk about how we can prevent those and get your arrows out quickly and safely. Unlike other shooting sports involving guns and rifles, we actually have to go retrieve our ammunition at the end of each round. Doing this safely is very critical to keeping the range running smoothly. When you're done shooting all of the arrows that have been given to you, take your bow and put it back in the storage racks at the range. You do not want to take it with you downrange. Once everybody has finished shooting, somebody will say clear. After clear has been said, it's okay to walk over the shooting line down to the targets at the end of the range to get your arrows. The range that we shoot at is about 20 meters long, so it's a relatively long walk, but you still need to be careful toward the end. Once you get to the end, you will see a row of targets. Your arrows are obviously, or hopefully, stuck in these targets. Once they're in the target, it's important to pull them out very carefully. First thing you do is you walk up to the target and you'll see your arrow sticking in it something like this. The first thing you want to do is make sure that there's nobody else around you or behind you for 5 feet when you're pulling the arrow out. Most people get hurt when somebody pulls out an arrow and jabs them in the stomach with the back. You walk up to the arrow, you put your hand on the target, and with the hand that you hold the bow with, whatever hand that is, the one your arm guard is on, you're going to grab it as close to the target as you can, pull it out pointing the end down, and then you can collect them all in your hand in a bunch. It's very important to make sure that there's nobody behind you when you're doing this. It's okay to step up right next to somebody else and pull your arrows out beside them, but again, make sure that there's nobody behind you when you're doing this. Once you have all your arrows, go ahead and walk back down toward the range where you stored your bow, leaving everyone else to pull out their arrows from the target. Once everyone has all of their arrows, you will hear the word clear said again, and it's okay to start shooting again. Occasionally, stuff happens. While we've never had an accident in the past 3 years, it is possible for people to get hurt while doing archery. The most common injuries we see are big bruises on the arms from the string striking the arm guard. It's important, if you do get hurt in any way, to tell somebody that it happened. Also, please let me or whatever other person coach is on staff know if you have hyperextended elbows. I don't, so it's hard for me to demonstrate this, but if you put your arms out in front of you and your elbows can pass your wrist joint down here, that's very important to know because they're very easy to get hit by the string. Let somebody know if your elbows work like that, and we can get you a full-length arm guard to accommodate that particular body oddity.